with Kilgore and Carlisle, so that should be a very interesting game.
Enjoyed talking to Kelvin Sampson earlier this morning. He's has a good sense of humor about him, but you know he's very concerned about his team at the moment and the fact that he just is playing some players more minutes than they're used to playing, and that's got to be a big concern as you come down the stretch of the Big 12.
Well, it is, Roger, and what happens is you have to use defenses, and many times you're not accustomed to using, and I know Kelvin's thinking of zoning. He's going to use some traps, some triangle and two, wants to stay out of foul trouble.
And he's telling Michael Johnson, he says, you don't want to commit a foul way outside there, and that's the second on his point guard out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Now the zone. And Najera right at the point, so he's going to drop down.
That was Humphrey on Mim inside. As Smith goes for three. You know, this kid in high school, his junior and senior year, averaged double-double. I mean, he can do a lot of things.
Well, we thought Smith would be a pivotal player. No question, when Texas gets point guard production, they're tough to beat.
And Bernard Smith is a young man that just seems like with every game is getting more time at that point guard position and coming into his own. I think Tom Penders felt maybe he was pressing a little bit too much early in the year, trying to be too perfect. And, of course, Axtell just comes out, and he just lets it all hang out, and nothing bothers him.
And you start making the threes that will open it up.
How about that? Won't go, didn't follow it, and Najera brings it down. Now, he has got a stress fracture of the navicular bone up on the top of it. It can't get any worse, so he's going to play and just see how it goes. It's just how much pain he can stand as Clack gets called for the foul.
Well, don't think this game is not physical. I mean, guys are fighting for position. Wiley hooking inside. There's definite contact. So this is not to the benefit of Oklahoma. I know that Kelvin Sampson did not want to play a physical game with only about 7 healthy bodies available.
Brewer misses the first one. He's a 78% free throw shooter. Oklahoma is first in the Big 12 in free throw attempts, over 26 free throw attempts a game. And they have been a terrific free throw shooting team under Kelvin Sampson. Tops in the Big 12 last year, and they've dropped off just a little bit this year.
What did Kelvin say today when you asked him, do players work on free throws? Do you let them work at it on their own? And he said, no, it has to be authority-driven.
Yeah, authority-driven.
Authority-driven. Okay. That means, like, get out there and work on them.
And now Rutledge calls a foul, and there's a little contact going down the floor. You know, Rutledge and the officials had a talk with about 6 of the players at midcourt right before the game and told them, we're not going to let happen here today what happened up in Norman in January.
Yeah, that's a call like that sets the tone for the afternoon. No bumping, no hitting, don't jostle going down the floor.
Foul was on Ryan Humphrey, and you saw the clips at the top as Smith goes for 3, can't get it down. And Brewer the rebound. As I mentioned, a career-high 36 in the first meeting this year. He also had 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. He did a little bit of everything.
Yes, he did.
Game.
I'd say that's a pretty good line. It's a pretty good year for some guys.
Yeah. Najera trying to get it to the corner, and Smith is there to knock it out of bounds.
Boy, Smith has been productive at both ends of the floor. He's taking the challenge right now on Corey Brewer.
You know, the Longhorns last in the Big 12 in field goal percentage defense. I mean, they're giving up, what, about 82, 83 points a game. If they can just step it up a little bit defensively, you know they can score the points.
I think that may happen, Roger, especially now that they're healthy. They got everybody on the floor. They're a dangerous club. Might be Humphrey, away from the ball.
Yeah, once again. So that's the second foul on the freshman Ryan Humphrey away from the ball. And that's going to bring Renzi Stone off the bench.
Well, Humphrey definitely pushed. Looks like he got Axtell trying to screen, and that kind of a situation, you have to be stationary when you're making screens, not moving or using your hands.
I'll tell you, we've got 3 of the most talented freshmen in the country here today. You just saw Humphrey go to the bench, but Axtell and Mim and this Bernard Smith's going to be a really good player. Look at Manecki. And Manecki so far with 7.
Now, you know what I like, Roger? Even though that Oklahoma's going to the zone, I like the fact that Texas is attacking low. Get the ball on the block, attack in to out against the zone.
Najera on the side, lays it up and in.
Boy, there are bodies going all over the place in this game. We thought this would be less physical. It isn't.
I don't think so. I don't think so. You can have Oklahoma in Texas, and it doesn't have to be football. It doesn't have to be basketball. It can be golf or tennis or whatever, you know, and it is not going to be a pretty sight. people are just going to get after each other. Clack tried to get it inside. Stone came away with it. Now Johnson at the other end working on Axtell, and Axtell got a piece of it. Stone gets it back, and for three, Brewer can't get it down. And it's going to be Texas ball off Evan Wiley. Well, Kelvin Sampson in his three previous seasons at Oklahoma has gotten his team to the NCAA tournament, but has not won an NCAA tournament game yet. He's 5-3 on the turnovers. First, Kelvin at Washington State before coming to Oklahoma did a great job turning that program around.
Now you have to focus on Mim. Try to get Axtell and Mim on the same side of the floor.
Look at that. Look at that scoop. It didn't go, but a terrific move. And look at Manecki. He's just cleaning up today. Manecki with 9.
Well, obviously you have to get a body on Manecki, but what's happening is everybody is sagging off on Mim, and Manecki's got a freewheeling lane to the goal to follow it in.
Well, Rutledge just gave Manecki a warning and warned Tom Penders.
And Mim misses the shot, but Manecki's man comes for the help, so no one to screen him out, and gave Manecki another follow.
Manecki is very excitable, to say the least. It's Penders has tried to get him to calm down just a little bit, but that's his personality. Brewer with the spin move now on the baseline, and Mim, you just can't take it in on him. He's going to throw it right back at you, and once again, a foul in the midcourt area, and Sampson wants a 22nd as the foul's on Corey Brewer. Manecki 4 out of 4 from the field and 9 points.
And Mim is putting out a defensive clinic.
Mim now moved into a tie for 8th on the Texas all-time block list with John Brownlee at 53.
And Brewer gave a little pump fake in there, but Mim not only blocked the shot, he kept it in play and allowed his team to initiate the break. Again, defense creating offense. Tom Penders said, you know, we're healthy for the first time in a long time, and I think we're capable of not only winning at home in the Big 12, we can get some wins on the road.
Well, you know, they won 16 games last year, Dan. Lost in the first round of the Big 12 tournament to Missouri, but got to the big show and had victories over Wisconsin and Coppin State before losing to Louisville. And as Tom told us before the game today, he thinks if they could get back to around that number, that effort last year by getting into the tournament and being successful. And the fact is, they've had some quality victories, and they've played a very tough schedule this year.
Now, Tom is hoping they can get to 16 wins for the year. If they get 16-17, he feels that will be good enough to get into the tournament.
Well, a good win against Florida. Had a nice victory against Oklahoma State, where they just threw in every three-pointer they looked at. Look at Clack from way outside. The threes are not falling today as Smith gets it back. 14-6, less than 12 minutes to go. First half from the Irwin Center in Austin as Clack, who's got that 42-inch vertical leap, loses the ball. They're on the floor. The possession arrow pointing to Oklahoma.
Yeah, had Clack, Roger, not brought the ball down, if he'd have kept it chest high, could have turned around and gotten that goal, but he brought it down, and a little guy came in there and knocked it out of his hand.
Oklahoma with only 2 field goals in the first 8 minutes of this half.
Back to Texas and Roger.
Roger Schwabel, Dan Bellamini back with you in Austin, Texas. A couple of teams have had some shots at North Carolina and just haven't been able to finish this year. Georgia Tech's another.
Yeah, Georgia Tech had a wide open shot to win that game at the end of the first overtime. Couldn't do it, and Carolina comes back and gets the win.
Allison and Stone in there along with Johnson and Wiley and Brewer for the Sooners of Oklahoma.
Yeah, Roger, what a job Bill Guffers has done at North Carolina, though. You know, the hardest thing to do in coaching is follow a legend. And Guffers has not missed a beat. I don't think he's getting enough credit for what he's done.
You know what? He's letting the kids play, and he's got some great talent there, and he's not overcoaching. I'll tell you that. That is a fact.
That's very smart.
Yeah, I think so. When you got that kind of talent, let it work.
Carter and Okalaja and Jamison don't overcoach. Coder's doing a great job at the point.
Allison missed the shot, and Manecki, who is a brick. I mean, Gabe Manecki, when Allison ran into it, it was hitting a brick wall. Manecki 6'7", 230, the sophomore from Houston. I mean, he just bounced off it.
And Manecki very, very strong. Here's the look from the outside, and boom. Good hands by Manecki, and that doesn't feel much contact when people run into him. And now Oklahoma's got some problems. You see the second foul on Allison and the 7th team foul, so Manecki with a one-on-one opportunity. So you can bet that Tom Penders now will focus on continually putting the ball down on the block and forcing Oklahoma to defend inside.
Well, they bring Humphrey back in, the freshman who's got 2 fouls, and Najera also checks back in.